She stood
was
in the
so
middle of the
worried.
yard,
I'm here
clutching
now.
an old suitcase
Stay
in
with
her
me.
trembling hands, unable to believe that this was
I was
really
so
happening.
worried.
I'm here
Just
now.
yesterday, this
Stay
house had
with
been
me.
her home. Just yesterday, these people had
I was
called
so
her family.
worried.
I'm here
And
now.
today,
Stay
she
with
was a
me.
stranger, unwanted, blamed.
I was so worried.
Marina
here
had been
now.
married at 23.
Stay with me.
In their small riverside village, everything happened
I was
quickly.
so worried.
Parents
here
arranged,
now.
neighbors approved,
Stay with
and
me.
the wedding was loud and joyful, filled with music
I
and
was so
endless
worried.
toasts.
I'm here now.
Her husband, Sergei,
Stay
had
with
seemed
me.
reliable, quiet, hardworking,
I
steady.
was so worried.
He wasn't
I'm here
romantic,
now.
but he was dependable,
with me.
and in her world, that mattered more. The first year of marriage passed peacefully. Marina learned how Sergei liked his tea, how his mother preferred the laundry folded, how to stretch money through the long winters. She waited patiently for the one thing everyone expected: a child. When it didn't happen after 6 months, whispers began. It takes time, Marina reassured herself. After a year, the whispers grew louder. After 2 years, they turned into accusations. Sergei's mother stopped hiding her disappointment. She would sigh loudly at dinner and say things like, "Some women are born to be mothers. Others, well," she never finished the sentence. She didn't need to. Marina went to doctors in the nearby town. Cold rooms, clinical voices, endless tests. Sergei rarely accompanied her. He was too busy. When the results came, the doctor avoided her eyes. "You may have difficulty conceiving," she said carefully. "It will be very hard." The word hard echoed in Marina's mind like a verdict. When she told Sergei, he didn't shout. He didn't comfort her either. He simply grew distant. The quiet between them became heavier than any argument. One evening, everything shattered. Sergei's mother stood at the kitchen table, arms crossed. Sergei avoided Marina's gaze. "We cannot wait forever," his mother said flatly. "Our family needs an heir." Marina's voice trembled. "It's not my fault." But in that house, fault didn't matter. Only results did. By sunset, her suitcase was packed. And so she stood there now, in the yard where she had once planted flowers, being cast out like something broken. No one hugged her goodbye. No one asked where she would go. She walked away without looking back. The first nights were the hardest. Marina rented a tiny room above an old bakery in the town center. The ceiling leaked when it rained, and the heater barely worked, but it was hers. For the first time in years, no one sighed at her presence. Still, the silence felt unbearable. She found work at a local clinic as a receptionist. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid enough. Every day she watched pregnant women walk in, their hands resting protectively on rounded bellies. At first, each sight felt like a knife. But slowly, something changed. One afternoon, a young woman arrived, pale and shaking. She couldn't have been more than 17. I don't know what to do," the girl whispered. "My parents will throw me out." Marina recognized the fear in her eyes. It was the same fear she had felt standing in that yard. Instead of simply checking her in, Marina sat beside her. "You're not alone," she said softly. It was the first time she had said those words to someone else, and meant them. That night, Marina couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about the girl, about all the women who were judged, blamed, discarded for circumstances beyond their control. The next day, she asked the clinic director a question that would change her life. "What happens to women who have nowhere to go?" The director sighed. "Some manage, some don't." The answer wasn't enough. Over the next months, Marina worked longer hours. She saved every extra coin. She stopped buying new clothes, stopped taking buses when she could walk. A quiet determination grew inside her. If she could not give birth to a child, she would give birth to something else, something bigger. A year later, Marina signed a lease on an old, abandoned house at the edge of town. The windows were cracked, the walls peeling, but the foundation was strong. People laughed when they heard. "What will you do with that ruin?" they asked. Marina only smiled. She spent weekends cleaning, repairing, painting. She learned to fix pipes, patch roofs, and stretch small funds into miracles. Some of the clinic staff began helping. The baker downstairs donated bread. A retired carpenter offered his tools. Word spread slowly. The house reopened under a simple name, New Beginning. It was a shelter for women who had been cast out. Pregnant teenagers, single mothers, wives escaping cruel homes. There were only 4 beds at first, then 6, then 10. Marina listened to stories every night. Stories of fear, shame, and heartbreak. She never judged, she never blamed. "You are not broken," she would tell them. "You are stronger than they think." Years passed. The shelter grew. Donations came. Volunteers arrived. New Beginning became a recognized community center, offering legal help, counseling, and childcare. Marina never remarried. But she was never alone. Children ran through the halls every day, laughing, shouting, calling her Aunt Marina. She attended school plays, helped with homework, kissed scraped knees. None of them carried her blood, yet each carried a piece of her heart. One cold autumn afternoon, a familiar car stopped outside the shelter. Marina was in the yard helping a little boy tie his shoes when she saw him. Sergei. He looked older, thinner, his confidence replaced by something uncertain. For a moment, the past tried to return, the humiliation, the pain, but it no longer held power over her. He approached slowly. "I heard about this place," he said. "They say you built it." She nodded. He shifted awkwardly. I have no children." The words hung heavy between them. "My second marriage," he continued quietly, "ended the same way. The doctor said, the problem was never yours." Marina felt no triumph, only a calm clarity. "I'm sorry," I replied, and meant it. Sergei glanced at the children playing nearby. "You have everything," he said softly. Marina looked around, the bright windows, the laughter, the women drinking tea on the porch, the walls once broken, now full of warmth. "Yes," I answered. "I do." He seemed as if he wanted to say more, perhaps to apologize, perhaps to ask for something. But she had already forgiven him long ago. Forgiveness, she had learned, was freedom. After he left, one of the girls ran up to her. "Aunt Marina, will you come see my drawing?" She smiled and took the little hand offered to her. Years later, when the town organized a ceremony honoring community heroes, Marina stood on the stage, overwhelmed by applause. The mayor spoke about compassion, courage, and transformation. But Marina only thought about the yard she had once stood in, suitcase at hand, feeling discarded. If they had not cast her out, she might never have discovered her strength. If they had not called her infertile, she might never have become the mother of dozens. People once said she was incapable of giving life. They were wrong. She simply gave life in a different way. And what she did next, building hope from rejection, love from abandonment, left everyone speechless.